previously on our channel. We revealed best places to visit in Vietnam. You've probably seen them somewhere in many travel guides, Instagram reels, or maybe your friends couldn't stop raving about them. If you have ticked off these classics, congrats! You have seen Vietnam, but on the surface only. Many people stop there, and you know what? They are missing out the chance to see some of the most breathtaking corners, ones that are on the hidden side of Vietnam, like a pristine island that once held untold story behind prison walls, a lake that perfectly resembles Halong Bay but perched on highland, a beautiful waterfall that lies deep in the forest like a sleeping beauty. In this video, we will count down 10 secret spots of Vietnam. The further you go through the list, the lesser known the place will become. These places are not for everyone in a certain way, but will blow your mind about Vietnam's diverse beauty. Stick around until the end because Vietnam is going to surprise you again.
Mekong Delta, you heard it, but An Giang, probably not, unless you're a real fan of Vietnam's southwest. Sitting at the point where the Mekong flows in Vietnam from Cambodia, this province alone deserves a few days more to explore during your Mekong trip. Settling in between two branches of the Mekong River, An Giang is privileged to lots of resources for rice farming and aquaculture. In Châu Đốc, its most famous and multicultural city, floating houses double as fish farms right under the floorboards. The floating market, out past the famous Cái Răng in Cần Thơ. Ones in Long Xuyên and Châu Đốc are among very few last places where wholesale fruit, vegetables, and rice are still traded on the water. An Giang's geographical location also makes it a melting pot of cultures, with ethnic Khmer, Chinese, Cham, and Vietnamese communities shown through vibrant festivals throughout the year, including the Festival of Lady Sue, Khmer New Year, the Khmer Bull Racing Daughter Festival, and Muslim Cham's Ramadan. If you're looking for nature, you must not miss out Cha Sư Cachaput Forest, an emerald flood forest that holds a significant role in climate regulation and nature conservation. Its natural beauty makes you glide silently through green water beneath the canopy of birds and trees. And the food? Wildly underrated. From Bún Cà Châu Đốc, a spicy fish noodle soup, sweet smoky thốt nốt desserts made from palm sugar, to Bò Leo Núi, a sizzling beef served on mini stoves, every meal is a surprise. Only 185 kilometers off the mainland, Con Đảo is a sanctuary of Vietnam's untouched nature. But for over a century ago, this island was hell on earth. Con Đảo was home to the same name prison where the French and later the Americans locked away political prisoners, revolutionaries, and freedom fighters. The infamous tiger cages, built to break human spirit, now stand as chilling reminders of the island's past. But Con Đảo is no longer a place of pain. It is now a place of rebirth. Nature here is raw, delicate, and fiercely protected. With pristine beaches, lush jungles, and rare wildlife, the island has slowly transformed into an ecotourism haven, popularly known as one of the few places in Vietnam where sea turtles still return to nest. Rangers and volunteers work through the night, guiding hatchlings safely to the sea. Visiting Con Đảo isn't for everyone. There is no long lines of resorts stretching on the beach like Nha Trang or Da Nang, no nightclubs and late-night drinking at all. Maybe the loudest noise is the wind whispering through the hotel window. But if you're looking for peace, relaxation, and exotic wildlife, put this island into your bucket list. Northern Vietnam is famous for these breathtaking rice terraces, and no place would feature it better than Mù Cang Chải. Looking from above, Mù Cang Chải rice fields look like a fingerprint of the sky that change colors every season. The but those masterpieces are actually the result of thousand-year-old culture that deeply rooted in this beautiful highland. They're also the lifelines of the Hmong people who still farm them by hand today. To get to this land, you need at least 6 hours to travel by car from Hanoi, no other choice. This may be one of the reasons why not many tourists are willing to visit Mukang Chak, but trust me, if you really love nature and indigenous culture, this trip is really worth it. The best time to see it? During the harvesting season in September and October, you'll love to go trekking through Hmong villages, soak in the hot springs, and watch the sun dip behind the rice-lined peaks. If you're a true adventurer, seek for the paragliding experience on Khao Pha Pass. You get to see the amazing view of rice terraces, the valley and little houses dotted in the valleys you fly through. Absolutely beautiful. Tourists coming to Vietnam cannot skip Halong Bay even though they know it's a touristy attraction. But here's the detour that's as exciting. Located just a little further to the northeast, Bãi Tử Long Bay, stretching over 1,500 square kilometers, is a magical place if the crowd is not your thing. Same landscape with dramatic limestone rocks rising from emerald water, but much less crowded. It means no selfie with flocks of strangers in the background or kayaking with a sea of tourists. It's totally heaven for those looking for authenticity, tranquility, and not heavily commercialized experiences. Scattered across the bay are floating fishing villages like Vung Vieng, where people live in houses that rise and fall with the tides. You'll have the chance to learn about local life on the bay as well as discover unspoiled islands such as Minh Châu, Quan Lat, Cặp Kỳ Nhảy, and incredible flora and fauna of Bãi Tử Long National Park. Less tourists also means there are not many options of cruise to choose from, and you also need to book in advance if you already know that's the place you want to go. Traveling between Danang and Hue, most people will rush over the Thai Vân Pass for the views, heading straight for the city center. But if you stop just on the other side, you'll find yourself in Lang Co, a crescent-shaped bay stretching more than 10 kilometers. In 2009, Lang Co Bay was officially recognized by the World Bays Club as one of the most beautiful bays on the planet. Unlike tourist-heavy beaches, Lang Co remains deeply local. Fishermen still set sail at dawn, and in the distance, the Annamite Mountains rise dramatically, embracing the bay like a protective wall. Just behind the beach lies Lap An Lagoon, a hidden mirror of the sky. At low tide, oyster farms emerge. At sunset, the whole lagoon transforms into a watercolor painting. Pink, orange, and purple blending over the still water. Here, you won't find beach clubs or big crowds. Instead, it's peace and simplicity, a perfect stop for anyone seeking quiet in between the hustle of Hue's imperial history and Da Nang's modern energy. Not many travelers think of northern Vietnam beyond Sapa or Ha Giang, which is why Ba Biệt Lake remains so quiet. Deep in the mountains of Bắc Cạn and far from Vietnam's bustling tourist hubs, Ba Biệt Lake is the largest natural freshwater lake in Vietnam and one of the country's most underrated wonders. The name Ba Bể means 3 lakes, though it's really one vast body of water stretching nearly 8 kilometers long. Formed more than 200 million years ago, the lake is cradled by ancient limestone mountains and lush forests. In 1995, in the US, Ba Bể Lake was recognized by the World Freshwater Lake Conference as one of the 20 special freshwater lakes that needs to be protected globally. A trip to Ba Bể Lake is adventure at its purest. Kayaking on glassy waters, trekking through Ba Bể National Park, or spotting rare birds and butterflies. And yet, Ba Bể is special not just because of its beauty. It's also the people who call this place home. the Thai ethnic community live in still houses along the lake's edge, offering warm hospitality and a window into a way of life that's remained largely unchanged for generations. Looking from above, this small town with tile roofs and yellow wall reminds us a bit about Hoi An, but way more shy and reserved. It's absolutely quiet, serene in the background of mountains and clouds. We're talking about Lolo Chai, a hidden gem at the foot of the legendary Lũng Cú Flag Tower in Hà Giang. Just over a decade ago, Lolo Chai was a remote, agriculture-based village. Most families rely on subsistence farming amid extremely difficult terrain and limited land resources. Everything began to change in 2015 when a tiny cafe named Cafe Cực Bắc opened its doors. It was the first spark of tourism in the village to later become a community-based tourism spot. As the name suggests, this dreamy town is home to Lolo people, which is among the smallest ethnic groups in Vietnam, with only a few thousand left. Yet here, traditions live strong. Music, dance, festivals, and a hospitality that makes visitors feel less like tourists and more like a family. In spring, the village blooms with peach and pear flowers surrounding ancient Chinh Tường homes and black tile roofs. Here, you'll be welcomed into homestays, served sticky rice dyed with malted herbs, and serenaded with traditional bronze drums by the fire. What if I tell you there is a small Vietnam inside Vietnam? Right, I'm not metaphoring it. Look at this. This is Mũi Điện, the easternmost tip of Vietnamese mainland, where you can enjoy the first sunlight of the day in Vietnam. If you are watching until now, the journey isn't easy anymore. To catch the sunrise, you have to hike and climb stone steps for about 2 kilometers, wading through rugged paths. You'll probably reach the Dai Lang lighthouse with questions in mind like, why did I choose to do this? But when the first light touches the horizon, your answer comes in easily. The sky glows gold, the sea sparkles, and you forget all the aches but enjoy the spectacular moment of nature. And just below the cave lies Bãi Môn Beach, a crescent of soft sand lapped by turquoise waves. It's untouched, it's uncrowded, and perfect for relaxing deep after the climb. Ta Dung is home to a vast volcanic lake carved thousands of years ago. Today, its waters embrace 36 emerald islands, each one covered in untouched forests. Seen from above, it feels like nature painted a masterpiece here. Getting to Ta Dung is part of the magic. You ride through coffee fields, mountain passes, and tiny villages of the central highlands. And when the view finally opens up to Ta Dung Lake, it takes your breath away. Ta Dung is part of a UNESCO-recognized biosphere reserve, protecting hundreds of rare birds and wildlife. For nature lovers, it's a paradise that remains wild and untamed. Instead of crowded resorts, here you'll find peaceful homestays and eco-lodges perched on the hillsides. Waking up to the sound of birds with the lake view and a cup of fresh highland coffee in your hand is already a unique experience you can have in Vietnam. Deep in the jungles of Gia Lai, where few travelers dare to venture, there's a waterfall that looks like it was pulled straight from a dream. Welcome to K50 Waterfall, a hidden treasure of Vietnam that deserves far more attention. Reaching K50 isn't easy. You won't find paved roads or tourist buses here. Instead, it's a journey through Con Chu Giang Nature Reserve, trekking steep trails, wading through rivers, and pushing deeper into the forest. And then it appears, a thunderous current of water, dropping nearly 50 meters from mossy cliffs surrounded by untouched jungle. The sound is deafening, the spray cools your skin, and for a moment, It feels like nature is putting on a show just for you. Locals sometimes call it the waterfall of fairies because when the sunlight hits the mist, rainbows dance in the air and the place feels almost otherworldly. Most visitors stay overnight, camping near the falls, cooking by the fire, and falling asleep to the roar of water echoing through the night. It's the kind of experience that stays with you forever. This is also the last stop in our journey to discover the real hidden gem of Vietnam. Is there any other secret spot that you want to add in? Share with us your experiences in the comment down below. For now, see you again in the next video on exotic voyages. Cheers!